Happening now, what results from a county lake survey have to say about residents' opinion of regulating the body of water. Plus, gas prices are on the rise here in Jamestown. How much have costs gone up?
Well, that sunshine is out there on this Monday, and that's going to continue through at least the next couple of days. Then temperatures are on up from here. We'll tell you where they're going next as the News at Noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Over 60% of people living along Chautauqua Lake say they're in favor of forming a special district to help manage the county's natural resource. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Chautauqua Lake Protection and Rehabilitation Agency announced results of their online survey during a meeting last week. The survey garnered responses from over 1,500 people, with nearly 3/4 of respondents owning property with access to the body of water. The majority of those polled, county leaders say, support for the formation of a Chautauqua Lake Water District. The agency was tasked with evaluating lake protection and rehabilitation needs, making final recommendations to the county legislature. The end goal, officials say, is to improve the health and use of the lake overall.
We would proceed to develop the work plan for the Lake District. So when we make a recommendation to the county legislature, which would then have to go to the state controller, we actually have to have a work plan that says, okay, here's what we would do, here's how we would do it, here's how we would spend the money that is raised, here's how the Lake District would be governed, those type of issues that we've talked about over the months.
A full summary of the survey results is posted online at the County Department of Planning and Development's website now. It's planningschautauqua.com. Well, new numbers show more than 42% of Americans have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine nationwide. Now, efforts to turn around those reluctant to get vaccinated are underway. Mandy Gaither with top U.S. health officials who tout more freedoms for those who are fully protected.
It's the latest push in the race to get more COVID-19 vaccines in the arms of Americans.
I think we're increasingly going to see a world where people who've been vaccinated are going to enjoy a lot of freedoms,
including travel. The New York Times reporting the European Union will allow vaccinated U.S. tourists to visit Europe this summer.
Whether it's traveling to Europe or whether it's just seeing your family and friends without having to worry, vaccination's the key.
Other vaccination incentives may soon follow. The CDC expected to come out with updated guidelines for the fully vaccinated, specifically when it comes to wearing masks outdoors.
So stay tuned, it's coming soon.
All this comes at a time when the U.S. could soon have more doses of the vaccine than people who are willing to receive them. And CDC data shows 8% of people who got one dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines have missed their second shot.
Whenever you have a 2-dose vaccine, you're going to see people who, for one reason or other, convenience, forgetting, a number of other things, just don't show up for the second vaccine.
For those 2-dose vaccines, officials say the protection is stronger and lasts longer with 2 shots than with just 1. I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
Mandy, thank you. State-run vaccination sites here in New York are resuming the administration of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. The state previously halted its use of it last week based on recommendations of the U.S. health officials who were investigating reports over rare but potentially dangerous blood clots related to those shots. The Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced Friday that they had completed a review of the vaccine and cleared it for use again. In the past week, New York administered nearly 1.2 million doses of the shot. Speaking on Saturday, Governor Andrew Cuomo said the state's vaccination progress was something New Yorkers could take great pride in, but added we're not out of the woods yet.
And just saying we have a vaccine available isn't enough, because people who have a hospital, people who have a doctor, people who have access, they can get that vaccine like this. People who know how to work that internet, They figured out how to get the appointment. But how about if you had to go to work every day? How about if it wasn't that easy for you? Then you're going to see a lag in the vaccine. We see a lag in the vaccine. It's in the numbers.
In Chautauqua County, over 50,000 residents have received their first dose of the vaccine so far. That according to data posted on the state's COVID-19 vaccine tracker. The average price for a gallon of gas has increased here in the Jamestown area. According to GasBuddies.com's daily survey, the average price is now $2.89 a gallon as we start a new week. Nearly 1 month ago, the price for a gallon of petrol was $2.86 here in town. Both the local and state average is up 3 cents. Statewide, the price for a gallon of gas is now $2.92. Nationally, it's $2.89. AAA says last week's demand estimate is one of the highest since March last year, when social distancing restrictions were established that dramatically reduced the demand of gas. The auto group now says the demand for fuel is in line with the typical spring driving season that we saw pre-pandemic. They say continued growth in total domestic supply will likely keep pump prices from spiking dramatically. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we work our way through the start of a new week and the last week of the month here. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's good to see Pam, good to see Chad, Lisa, Linda. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Charlie and Rita as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that. And Dakota, today it looks more and more like spring out there.
Yes, it does. Finally, since we're towards the end of April, it's starting to look and feel like spring out there. Live look over Lakeside Park in Mayville shows you those blue skies, just a few light clouds around. That'll pretty much do it for much of the day. In fact, the satellite and radar shows you that. Just a few of those high clouds that are starting to move into northwestern Pennsylvania. They'll start to move in later this afternoon. Otherwise, yeah, just bake in the sunshine because it's going to be good out there. Still a little bit chilly for this time of the year, but who cares? The sun is going to make it feel and look a lot warmer out there. Tree pollen still in that high category. That's still giving us the problems. So if you're like me, who suffers from very terrible allergies, that's your culprit right there. The trees are starting to bud now, so we're starting to get that tree pollen. 49 was the high yesterday, well below the average, which is 62 for this time of the year. 91 on this day in 1925 broke the record high, and 24 in 2006 broke the record low. So through the afternoon today, early clouds break apart, leading to a good supply of sunshine for much of the afternoon. A few high clouds will start to roll in later in the day. Nice and quiet. 49 at the immediate Lake Erie water. That's because of that has to do mainly with a north wind. To 57 well inland. And tomorrow is going to be another nice day. We get a few showers coming in here, maybe a few rumbles on Wednesday, but I really think you're going to like the temperatures over the next few days. We'll talk about it with that 42 degrees and sunny 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
All right, Dakota, definitely going to keep our eyes on it because I know looking at the weekend weather with Andrew, things do look pretty promising, so you'll let us know. Well, new legislation would stop the rehiring of police officers who have been fired or resigned during disciplinary proceedings. The New York State Senate bill will be introduced by New York City area Senator Brian Benjamin. Benjamin introduced the act during a National Action Network event over the weekend. He says lawmakers need to help rid the state of, quote, bad cops and ensure good police candidates can do their jobs. The law would also provide law enforcement officers from being hired from outstate of police agencies as well. Well, an inmate is accused of stealing Chautauqua County jail property. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says 26-year-old Brandon Murphy was captured on security video committing the alleged offense last week. Corrections officers questioned Murphy, who was allegedly found in possession of stolen items. The man is charged with petty larceny in that case. Deputies did not specifically say what was stolen from the jail. Next here, a lot more to tell you about. Some good news for those looking to attend summer camp this year. And later, off to the movies, what reopening of a local theater looked like this weekend. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
The George Barone Jr. Scholarship Fund is hosting its first annual Rummage and Bag Sale fundraiser. An inductee in the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Barone managed, coached, and assisted in youth baseball for 64 years in and around the Jamestown area. 100% of proceeds generated will be donated, which will provide scholarships to graduating Southwestern Central School seniors who partake in athletics. Learn more by checking out the scholarship on Facebook and joining us for the fundraising event.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. A 33-year-old Jamestown man is behind bars following a domestic dispute at UPMC Chautauqua Hospital this month. Jamestown police tell us officers responded to the hospital's parking lot around 2:30 in the morning on April 16th for a reported dispute. Now, through investigation, it's alleged that Matthew Carr violated an order of protection to stay away from a 23-year-old woman who was visiting the hospital. Carr was arrested and charged with second-degree criminal contempt in that case. Since then, he was held in custody at Chautauqua County's jail. Well, the Census Bureau says it will be releasing the numbers used for determining how many congressional seats and electoral college votes each state will get today. The release of the apportionment numbers will come this afternoon, almost 4 months later than planned because of delays caused by the pandemic and discoveries in the data as the numbers were being crunched. The numbers are state population counts that show how many residents each state has gained or lost over the past decade. The 453 seats in the House of Representatives are divided among the states based on their population. Now, as growing states get more congressional seats because of growing gains, that means fewer seats for states that lost population or maybe didn't grow as fast. Census count takes place every 10 years. President Joe Biden will reach his 100th day in office this week. As John Lawrence reports, his administration remains focused on COVID-19 related health and economic issues. The president is also hoping to get his sweeping infrastructure plan passed through Congress.
This week, President Joe Biden will unveil the latest part of his economic agenda during his first joint address to Congress since laying out his jobs and infrastructure proposal last month in Pittsburgh.
Even as he's making these final decisions, that the American Families Plan and the speech on Wednesday will not represent the totality of every priority item for him and every item on his agenda that he wants to move forward as president.
Sources say Biden's proposal includes reducing child care costs and boosting paid family leave. The White House's plan would nearly double the capital gains tax for those who earn more than $1 million annually. Republican lawmakers countered with their own proposal. It wouldn't raise taxes and would be paid for with offsets like user fees.
There are very few folks who will argue that They don't want to see government funds invested well. I mean, this is one of the reasons why President Biden can call just about anything infrastructure and hope to throw that cloak over it for broad approval.
Despite the differences, it appears the lines of communication are open between the two parties.
I've talked to our ranking members. I've talked to my committee chairman. I've talked to Democrats. This is an active conversation, and I think that it's a good beginning.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. As Biden inches towards his 100th day in office, it appears a slight majority in the U.S. is content with his performance. According to an average of the 6 most recent polls, Biden has a 55% approval rating, while 41% feel the opposite. Well, are you ready for summer? Are you ready for some sunshine? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has new guidelines for what camp should look like this year. Vaccines are recommended for everybody who can get them, but that won't apply to most campers since there's still no vaccine approved for kids 16 years and younger. That means mask wearing and social distancing are going to be necessary. The CDC says masks should be worn by everyone at all times except when eating and swimming. The agency also says campers should be separated into smaller groups which don't interact and keep 6 feet apart from each other at all times. Indoor activities and close contact outdoor sports are also being discouraged. The CDC advises sleepaway camps to require proof of a negative COVID test for campers who are too young to have been vaccinated. Certainly exciting news, nevertheless, to get back to the outdoors. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below, or simply send us a wave or a hello. We'd love to hear from you. It's good to see Joseph, good to see Rita, John, Chad, Butch, and Cassie as well. Joe says that poll wasn't done in Jamestown, and you know what? You're right about that. Certainly a lot of polling data, even statewide, I've noticed as a news reporter, doesn't always reflect people here locally, where we've done polls of our viewership, and it's the complete opposite. So that's always something that you got to keep in mind when looking at the polls, and much like anything that is a poll, a forecast of something is to be determined at some future times. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us. That was not that bad of a segue. I mean, it was a little bit of a jump, but nevertheless, I know today, Dakota, kicks off a week of weather awareness here, not just in Western New York, but across the whole nation as well.
Yes, in New York State, specifically this week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week, which is declared by the National Weather Service and the State Emergency Management Agency. So let's go in there and take a look at it. Today's Severe Weather Awareness is talking about the difference between a watch and a warning. Since we're getting close to the severe weather season, it's good to remind you what a watch is. There's 3 different types of severe weather watches and warnings: severe thunderstorm, tornado, and flash flood. There's watches and warnings. And also a severe thunderstorm, keep in mind, we define a severe thunderstorm as one that has 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater, 1 inch or hail or larger, or a tornado. That is what makes a thunderstorm severe. Heavy rain, lightning, none of that makes a thunderstorm severe. And the difference between a watch and a warning is mainly this. A watch means that the threat is possible over the next several hours. A warning means the threat is imminent or it's occurring, and you should seek shelter when the warning is issued. So obviously, severe thunderstorm, tornado, and flash flood warnings, that's the time when you need to take action. The watch is when you need to consider your severe weather plan and go through it. Hey, today, no severe weather today, but the geese were out enjoying the sunshine out there. This was a look from Randolph this morning from Pam. And you know what? I actually mentioned this to the weather staff this morning when we were putting this in, that looking at this, it kind of makes me hungry for duck. Yeah, I know. That's pretty, yeah, I know. That's a very awful thing to say, but you know what? Duck is good. If you've ever had duck, it tastes like chicken.
Where do you get duck? Like,
well,
where is, how
because
do you get duck?
it's making me hungry for duck. You see, duck, geese.
Right. But like, do they serve it here locally?
Well, I don't know if you can get duck here locally, but I know you can get it at stores and cook it yourself.
Okay, so you've had duck,
a roast duck,
like at your house before?
We've cooked duck before. Yes.
Can I come over and try some? I'd be interested. I've had
the next time we have duck, I'll
I've
invite
had like geese before, actually. Like
You've actually
geese
ate
jerky.
Geese?
Delicious if you've ever had it. But I've never had like mallard. So
yes, duck. It tastes like chicken. Yes,
just like chicken.
Tastes like chicken.
They say that that's a lot of the.
They say that to a lot of things
here too.
Yeah, especially something else. My local
Back to the weather.
WX is the hashtag you use to send us your pictures and videos. Downtown Jamestown right now, not a cloud in the sky from atop of the DoubleTree Hotel. Still at 39 degrees. We haven't broken the 40-degree mark just yet, but I think we will probably add to 1 o'clock or at least 2 o'clock. Now, a light wind out there means a very little wind chill index to contend with. Now, tonight, I don't think we're going to have a chance of seeing this because the clouds are really going to be in the way, but if we do get a chance of seeing some clearing, the ISS could be visible tonight. From west-southwest to northeast, that's the view of the ISS. It's going to be visible for 6 minutes in the early morning at 5:12 tomorrow morning. I think the clouds are really going to be in the way, so I don't think we're going to see that. But if we do get some clearing in the clouds and you're up before sunrise tomorrow morning, check out and see if you can see the ISS. Nothing going on across the northeast. We're actually have high pressure. This is the next storm system that's going to bring us maybe a few rain showers Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, this storm system here that doesn't look impressive is going to cross us, and that's going to bring us a chance for a few more rain showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday. So future scan shows you, nothing through the day, so enjoy the sunshine. Notice a few blobs of green showing up on the map. Definitely not out of the question a few scattered showers overnight tonight. This is right around 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see the socked-in cloud cover, but notice a few of the patches in here. There could be some breaks in the cloud cover, so if you do see some breaks in the cloud cover, and again at about 5:12 tomorrow morning, get out and see if you can spot the ISS tomorrow morning. But again, the clouds I really think are going to hinder our view. So the zone forecast inland area, this is model output. I think it's being too conservative here. I don't think we're going to be this warm in some spots, but do expect a good amount of sunshine. When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. The next 7 days coming up right now, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny, 73 tomorrow, much warmer. There's that thunderstorm chance on Wednesday, 75, 67 Thursday, basically widespread to scattered rain showers, isolated shower Friday. The weekend looking mainly dry and temperatures hovering right around where they should be for this time of the year. The next, we'll take a break. Be right back.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
lights,
vests,
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
it's our job
to help you.
To save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Finally here today, after nearly a year closed to the general public, Lakewood Cinema 8 opened with some safety changes over the weekend. I sat down with theater management for a look at what measures are in place to keep moviegoers safe.
There is a 3-seat buffer in between, so once you pick your seat, when you're done, your sale's done, there'll be 3 seats automatically in between you that will be blocked out.
That's Brian Spokane, the vice president of Dipson Theaters, who says Lakewood Cinema 8 has also launched cashless concessions so patrons can purchase popcorn and drinks online at lakewood.dipsontheaters.com.
It's like a check-in app, so when you pull in here, just hit check-in. We'll automatically get a printout behind our concession stand, and then we'll have your concession ready to go.
Moviegoers are encouraged to make the purchases online, as the theater's box office is closed for now in order to better accommodate social distancing. Tickets can still be purchased at a station inside the lobby, though.
You will have to wear your mask at all times unless you're seated in your seat drinking or eating popcorn.
Under state regulations this weekend, the theater's capacity is capped at 25%. However, starting Monday, that increases to 33%.
We needed to get up to at least 50% to make things work, because even with us playing a movie like Demon Slayer this weekend, we're going to have a bunch of sold-out shows where we have plenty of seats that are still available.
The cinema was previously eyeing reopening last fall, but decided against it due to New York's regulations prohibiting the sale of concessions.
Popcorn and soda is a big item for us. You know, the tickets, a big majority of that money goes right to the film companies.
As time went on and restrictions were lifted, theater management was able to comfortably get back to business.
Vaccine numbers are going up, and things are moving in the right direction.
Spokane isn't the only one who's pleased to get back to the movies. After more than a year of being stuck inside with the kids, this Jamestown couple says they're just happy to be back out on date night.
I never get to do anything because everything's closed, so it's nice to be able to finally come and do something for once.
In review of safety procedures in place, she gives it a 10 out of 10.
Everything's going smoothly. There isn't a lot of people here. You come a little early, you get your stuff early. You can even do it all online.
As for what's showing, Spokane says there are a few big flicks that will premiere soon.
So we have Quiet Place opening on May 28th. That's going to hold. Cruella's playing on May 28th as well. So we got a couple good pictures that are coming up.
He feels there will be good demand for some of the upcoming films, like A Quiet Place in particular, which was shot here in Western New York.
That was ready to open right before we were closed down for the first time back of March of 2020. Yeah. So we were ready to open up that picture. I think it was in April. And so we're a year later, and a little bit over a year, we're finally going to get that opportunity.
Now, Dakota, the theater was open for private showings last summer, and they also sold gift cards along with bundles of their delicious movie popcorn, even though they were closed to the general public. Pretty awesome to be able to get a good inside look at the movies. And I personally, after doing that report, attended a showing to check it out. I went to go see Together with my girlfriend, and it wasn't a bad flick. Good to get back in, and I felt safe. I felt comfortable being in there. You know, they do give you that 3-seat buffer, and people had masks on except for when seated, and you're all facing the same direction.
Right.
So.
Well, you see, I think the greatest thing, and this is something I hope that'll continue into the future post-COVID, is, you know, we've all been there in the movie theater of being crowded and every seat is full, and then you get the tall guy who sits in front of you and you can't see the darn screen, or
the crying kid behind you,
who keeps kicking the seat, or two people in the back of you are talking the whole movie. Hopefully the one thing that will change is more space in theaters to the point where it's not as crowded, and maybe people will enjoy it more.
And I've always thought, and I've talked to officials about this, where here in our rural slice of heaven, a lot of times you're able to go to these theaters pre-COVID and you'd be the only one there. You know, say a matinee in the afternoon. Yeah. And I know that's not what the theater companies need, and they really do need people to go in order for them to make money and to continue to be open. But that's the thing. That's the thinking of it, is here in southwestern New York, a lot of times there aren't that many people at a showing pre-COVID. So hopefully they'll be able to get that capacity up. So when you do have more popular movies, you can get more people into those seats. So it was
and
really,
that date
really
night
great.
thing, talking about the couple that you interviewed there, the date night thing, it's like, that's something that, my parents did a few years ago. It's like, they went and saw a movie at the theaters for date night.
Right. It's a perfect night. So. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look over downtown Jamestown. Dakota and I are back tomorrow. Hope to see you then.